Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All Ball with C&E. Cameron, how's it going?
It's going great, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic today. We got a special one for you guys. We have we've kind of like changed up the pod a little bit. We've prepped this time. Last time we kind of just went in at it, just off the top of the dome. But we wanted to make it special because we want to actually put work into this. So today we're doing the NFL podcast episode. Well, at least the first one. So you ready to get into it, Cameron?
Yeah, of course. What's up first? The Cardinals, Seahawks, that what we're looking at?
Indeed, it is the Cardinals and the Seahawks. And this one's an interesting one because Arizona is only favored by 1. And the over-under it's only 47.5. So it's nothing like crazy. But what are your initial thoughts on this game when you first look at it?
So yeah, like you said, looking at the spread. I mean, the spread's 1 point. I mean, we're looking at a 1 point spread. This is going to be a close game. It's what they're projecting it is to be a close game. The over/under's up 47.5. I think that's good. It's going to be some high scoring from both teams. No one's going to get blown out, and we may see this one go into overtime. It's going to be pretty, evenly matched. I'm going to go ahead and, make a score prediction here. I think we're looking at I don't know.
Oh, we going score prediction right off the bat?
I'm going to score prediction right off the bat, man.
That's crazy.
I think we're looking at, let's say, 24-24 going into overtime, and it's hard to predict who's going to get the ball and win, but whoever gets the ball first in overtime is winning it right there with the touchdown. I'm going to go with the Seahawks on this one. What about you?
Interesting. All right, so when I look at this game, right, I look at the quarterbacks, right? Kyler Murray is playing an MVP level right now. He has over 2,000 yards passing, 12 touchdowns passing, only 3 picks, and then you also have to add in the fact this guy has 5 rushing touchdowns because that little guy, he can scramble around.
Oh yeah,
like Speedy Gonzalez, man.
He can move.
This guy is playing out of his mind right now, and to be quite honest, I know, and nobody thought the Cardinals were going to be above 500 at this point in the year. And then I go to Geno, right? 2,781 yards. But 11 touchdowns, 11 picks. He's been, he can get them down the field, but he can't score. Actually, shockingly enough, this guy has 3 rushing touchdowns this year, which is kind of crazy. You wouldn't expect that. So, yeah, I think this game will come down to the quarterback duel. But you also have to bring up the fact the playmakers on these offenses are unbelievable. You have James Conner, Trey McBride, and Marvin Harrison Jr., stud rookie on the Cardinals. And then you have Jackson Smith and Jigba, who is breaking out right in front of our eyes, DK Metcalf, and Kenneth Walker. Those 3 together should be one of the best offenses in the league. But Geno's been kind of, bringing it down.
Yeah, Geno's been iffy for sure. I think.
Hey, Geno, I think it's time to write back, buddy.
I think this is going to go a lot better for him this week against the Cards. I think he maybe throws an interception in there. It's just kind of on par with him. We're looking at 11 and 11 touchdowns, interceptions. So I think, like I said, I think the Seahawks come out on top here. Like you mentioned, you got Jackson Smith and Jigba. You've got Kenneth Walker. Of course, you've got DK. This team's looking great.
Now, the kind of matchups that I'll be very most interested in when watching this game is the Seattle wide receivers versus the Cardinals secondary, because we know how good these wide receivers are. But when you look at the Cardinals defense, it's actually surprising how they're pretty decent this year. They're giving up 22 points per game, which is kind of a lot. But then they're giving up 360 yards per game. So you hear those numbers and you think that's kind of high, but they're 6-4, so they've been doing pretty well. And these matchups right here, man, they're going to be exciting. So honestly, when I look at this game, the Cardinals, they're on a hot streak. Kyler Murray's playing at an MVP level. Trey McBride, one of the best tight ends in the league right now, he's playing out of his mind. So I'm going with 23-20 flat. Cardinals get the win, and they cover.
Okay, yeah, they covered the spread there. I mean,
obviously, if whoever you pick to win is going to cover.
Of course, yeah, it's a one.
But
the spread's 1 point. I mean, whoever you take the spread on is gonna take that. But at the end of the day, I mean, you're looking at the last 5 here. We've got lost to the Rams in overtime. I mean, I won't argue with the overtime stuff. I mean, it's just overtime's its own set of problems right now in the NFL. I mean, it seems to be, the first team to get the ball is winning the game.
I know you have some issues with that.
Yeah, I know. Being a Bucs fan,
he's a Bucs fan. Yeah,
we've got 2 losses without even touching the ball in overtime. I mean, that's rough, but at the same time, it happens, man. But we're looking. The Seahawks are looking decent. I mean, Atlanta looks pretty good, and they played a good game against Atlanta. San Francisco is a little bit of a closer game there, but San Fran, they're pretty decent too, man. I mean, their record might not show it, but I think they're a little bit of a better team than their record is showing.
All right, so you have the Seahawks in overtime. I have the Cardinals in regulation. So moving on, we will go to the next game here. The Packers versus the 49ers. Packers at home. Lambeau Field, it's going to be cold. There's projected snow in the forecast right now, and these Cali boys, I don't know if they're ready for that.
I don't think they are either, man.
That's the biggest topic of this game is 100% the weather, because I don't know if you saw last night, the weather became a huge factor in that Steelers-Browns game.
Big time.
So, and those teams are both in cold areas.
Yeah,
they're
both
take a team
cold
that's
weather
not used to the cold areas. This is going to be a toss-up.
It is going to be a little bit of a toss-up. I'm not going to go ahead and sit here and base like, oh, San Fran's going to win if it doesn't snow. The Packers are going to win if it does snow. Like, I'm not going to base it on that, but I am also going to look at the records here. I'm going to look at the last 5. I'm going to look at, the teams in general. Like I was just saying, 49ers are 5-5. I think they're a little bit better than a 5-5 team, but at the same time, I don't know if they're pulling it out against the Pack.
All right, so we look at this, right? You look at Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is always a topic at hand. Nobody knows how good Brock Purdy ever is. At least on like Twitter, there's a lot of people that don't like him. TikTok, there's a lot of people that don't like him. Mm-hmm. I know San Francisco 49ers fans love him. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I mean, this year he's got 2,600 yards, 13 touchdowns, 8 picks, which I will say from the couple games that I've watched this year, those interceptions have been crucial in the red zone. But then he also does have 4 rushing touchdowns. This guy has extended plays for a lot this year. And then we talk about Jordan Love. Now, Jordan Love is a monster. Obviously, he developed under Aaron Rodgers. This guy was ready to go when he was called upon. But this year has been a very interesting year. He has 2,081 yards, 16 touchdowns, which is really good, but 11 interceptions. I don't know.
Yeah,
from
the interceptions are a little scary there, especially in the crucial moments. And I mean, you look at the yard comparison between Purdy and Love, and I mean, it's 600 yards more coming out of Purdy. The quarterback difference here is, I wouldn't say drastic, but the Packers
in my personal
have some
opinion,
running backs
I'm taking Jordan Love.
I am too. I am too. Right now, I think Brock Purdy's kind of still, took a trip to the Super Bowl. I mean, he's in a questionable spot. I also want to highlight the injuries here. Look at the 49ers.
1,000%.
Look at the 49ers here, man. I know none of them are defined as out, but we've got some big names questionable for this game. They won't all be out, but we might be missing 1 or 2 names here. I mean, we're looking at Bosa, Kittle, Trent Williams, Purdy,
but
Jacob Cohen,
this year than Brandon Ayuk, who was
well.
unfortunately, I think he tore his ACL or Achilles. It was like 5 weeks back. Obviously, he's done for the year, which has really hurt them. But the guys that have stepped up in replace of him are Deebo Samuel, who obviously is a beast. Everyone knows Deebo. 490 yards, 33 catches. But, shocker, this is one of my favorite players right now, Jawan Jennings. 588 yards and 4 touchdowns. This dude had a I think, 140-yard, 3-touchdown game earlier this year. This guy's been cooking.
He's stepping up for sure. He's making an impact on the team. He's stepping up where it needs to be because, like we were just saying, those injuries are looking bad, man. They are questionable, but I mean, we're missing Ayuk. Kittle's questionable. Even Purdy's questionable, man. Like he may tweak something this next game, and they gotta switch up their offense a little bit, and that's
Purdy's questionable. He's on the injury report.
Brock Purdy is questionable. So I mean, you don't want to do that against the Pack, especially.
Oh, well, and the cold's not gonna help.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The cold's not gonna help. You don't want to do it at Lambeau in late November, early December. Nope.
Now, where this game could be won because it's cold and it's gonna be snowing, it's gonna be wet, is the trenches, the run game.
Yeah,
and the Packers have one of the best run games in the league this year.
That's what I'm saying.
Josh
They've got
Jacobs,
some running backs.
1,024 yards from scrimmage, 7 touchdowns from scrimmage. And honestly, he's been one of the best running backs in the league right now.
This game is so up in the air. Josh Jacobs is questionable as well. I mean, we're looking at...
Yeah, I will say, though, you got to take questionable lightly.
Yeah, you have to take it lightly.
There's so many guys that
100%. But it also brings in the question, I mean, we're looking at what could possibly be a snowy game. I don't know exactly what Josh Jacobs is questionable for, but being a running back in the snow, you may, tweak something else. It can affect during the game. I mean, I think this game's very up in the air for who could win it here. There's a lot of factors. There's a lot of people who may or may not be in the game, may be playing on light injuries and tweak something. Who knows? This game's up in the air for me. I think the Pack takes it home.
Ooh. Now, we're only looking at a Green Bay -3 here. So, Vegas likes it as a close game as well.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the one thing that people have... I mean, obviously, 49ers been injured. But their record, they're what, 5-5 right now?
Yeah.
Like, it's not good. They've not looked great. Especially their defense. I feel like their defense has been a little lackluster this year. But again, injuries, you never know. Packers defense... not bad. Very, very good. They're great at causing turnovers. They got the league leader in interceptions, Xavier McKinney, 6 interceptions. This guy's been playing great. He started off the year, I believe, 6 straight games. It was either 6 or 5 straight games with an interception. Hasn't had one in a little bit, but this team's great at causing turnovers. So the defense, and obviously, wet field again, like we mentioned with the snow.
Oh, yeah.
The ball could be flying. The ball could be flying anywhere.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean,
insane.
Like I said, it seems very up in the air, at least from my standpoint. A lot could happen at this game, and
all right. So, what are your predictions for this game?
My predictions for this game, so like you said, we're looking at a 3-point spread here, 3.5-point spread, with an over/under 45. Money lines on the Pack, of course. Kind of easy to predict that, but in terms of scores, I don't know. I think let's go 28. I'm gonna say Packers are gonna go 28 points to, we'll say 21 for San Fran. So we're gonna say 28-21 Pack in regulation.
Interesting. Now, that's a little higher scoring than I would have imagined, especially if there's going to be snow. And if the run game is
I think that run game's going to take over, for sure, especially for the Pack.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Packers, it's going to come down to the run game, and I think there's injuries on the 49ers O-line. I could be wrong, but at the end of the day, I trust the Packers run game more. I'm going to go 20-13 Packers win it. So but I will say this game is probably the most, I would say, toss-up game of the week.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. I mean, that's definitely one of the reasons why we had it down here. But yeah.
Very split.
So
with
next,
a lot of factors.
You see it. Go Birds. This game's interesting because the Rams have looked pretty good, but the Eagles have looked dominant lately.
The Eagles have looked extremely dominant lately. I mean, overall, I mean, you're looking at Saquon Barkley, I would say, the best running back in the league right now. Very, very, very productive on offense.
Speaking of Saquon, sorry to cut you off there. Guess who just got released today? Yeah, I hate you, Giants. You should have paid him.
You good?
All right, moving back.
There you go. All right, you got it out. You had to get out the hatred for the Giants.
They didn't offer him in the offseason. Giants fans, you suck. Giants organization, you suck.
It doesn't matter, man. At the end of the day, he's on a better team now. He is in a place where he can shine. He wasn't necessarily
40 million for one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. Now moving on, back to the game. All right.
Anyways.
So what
It's all right, man. It's all right. I know you have your love for Saquon.
Back to the game. I just had to get it out of my system. This was one of the greatest moments of my life. A little exaggeration, but one of the greatest football moments of my life because less than a season, the guy they paid over Saquon is already
it's
off
the
team.
greatest moment for you because you don't have to watch the Giants play anymore.
All right, back to the game. So when I look at this game specifically, I actually look at the quarterbacks over the skill position. Well, I guess a quarterback is a skill position, but the outside of the running backs and the wide receivers, I actually look at the quarterbacks here because Jalen Hurts had a turnover issue at the beginning of the year, but he's bounced back. He has not turned the ball over a lot lately. He has over 2,100 yards passing on the year, 12 touchdowns, 5 picks. He hasn't thrown a pick in a while. No, he threw one last game, but before that, it was a long time. Mm-hmm. Then you look at the rushing. Now, this guy, he may be a touch-push merchant, but he's our touch-push merchant. 417 yards rushing, 11 rushing touchdowns, unbelievable. So, and then you look at Stafford. Stafford, heavy passing.
Oh, yeah,
2,500 yards, 13 touchdowns, 7 picks. This is the deciding factor for me in this game is which quarterback plays better.
100%. I mean, we're looking at the Rams. They're 10 games into their season. Stafford's got 350 pass attempts. What averages out to 35 a game. I mean, it's heavy on the passing for sure with Stafford. I'd do the same thing if I had Cooper Kupp. But
and don't forget Puka
and Puka,
who's coming
Puka.
back.
I forgot. Yeah, no, he's had a little bit of a.
Well, I guess he's already been back, but he's fully back now. He had
100%.
over 100 yards and a touchdown last week.
Okay, well,
yeah, and then so we talked about the passing. The passing, for the Rams, but you got to talk about Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams, touchdown. He's touchdown god. This dude is fantasy god, touchdown god. 866 yards from scrimmage, 10 touchdowns from scrimmage.
Oh, yeah.
He's main focal point on the offense, and if the Eagles can't stop him, it's going to be a long night.
It is going to be a long night. I mean, this says it all right here. The Eagles aren't a 5-game. I know that they've played Dallas.
Actually, I think it's 6. It's 6 now.
At a minimum of 5-game. I know they've played
it's a 6-game win streak now.
The Giants and the Cowboys and what seems to be the overrated Commanders. And the Bengals, they're their own story. They need to get Joe Burrow out of there. They need to get Jamar Chase out of there. The problems, either get them out, or fix what's going on with the line. Joe Burrow's getting battered every game. I mean, it's unreal to look at the skill with those two guys. I mean, you could put T. Higgins in there, but I mean, he's been iffy. He's been injured. He's missed some time. That trio right there deserve to be in a better position. Yeah, I saw you make a face. Do you agree? Do you disagree?
I'm just a little confused. How we got to the Bengals?
The Bengals are there, man. I'm just sorry. It's like I'm looking at the Eagles and their games.
I know you have your girlfriend's big Bengals fan.
Yes.
So it's always a topic at hand in your household. But
it is a topic at hand, and I love to hate. I love to sit around and make as many jokes as I can about not liking these guys. But I mean, it's been painful to watch the Bengals lose week after week, and the skill that they have, at least in that trio, is unreal. I mean,
I don't disagree with you.
Exactly,
I definitely don't disagree with you. You can't have T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe. Actually, their offense isn't the problem.
It's what I'm saying. It's not the offense.
The defense is horrible.
The defense is the problem. It's like they need to fix up the defense, and the O-line isn't horrendous, but Burrow's getting battered. He's getting battered, man.
Yeah, man.
Anyways,
he's not leaving. He's not leaving Cincy anymore.
No,
He's
they
not
just need
leaving
to fix
Cincy
their
anytime
defensive
soon.
problems. Anyway, back to the Eagles, and big win streak coming from them. The Rams have had some pretty good wins too. I mean, they've got a decent victory over Minnesota. Seahawks in overtime.
They did.
Raiders.
They did lose that shocking game to the Dolphins. I was kind of surprised that the Dolphins won that.
I am a little surprised about that one too, but whatever. Trap game, whatever.
Yeah. And then I do want to bring up also, this is going to be a big wide receiver duo battle. You're talking about A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and you're talking about Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, who we kind of covered earlier. But these are probably two of the top three best wide receiver duos in the league. Mm-hmm. You look at A.J. Brown, 33 receptions, 618 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's also missed. He's missed at least a couple games, too, due to his hamstring issue. And then you look at Devontae Smith, who's kind of stepped up for him in his absence, have 41 catches, 516 yards, 4 touchdowns. So that duo's on fire. And then Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, their stats aren't that high, but Cooper Kupp missed time at the beginning of the year, and then Puka got hurt in the first game of the year or second game of the year, whatever it was, and he was out for a while. So, but this is going to be a big topic in this game, is which wide receiver duo can do better.
Oh, 100%. I think huge names on both sides. Huge playmakers. It's going to be a determining factor in this game. Of course, the Eagles aren't a huge win streak. They're playing really, really well. Jalen Hurts has fixed his interception problem. This team is looking amazing. I don't really see much potential for the Rams to really, beat this team. I know they're playing at home. I know they've got some
home
big names,
field though in LA is non-existent. You basically play in an away game because there's no LA fans. So always the away teams, if they're big enough, they kind of take over.
Yeah.
So the next thing I will say though, Vegas, you say the Rams, you don't see a way the Rams win this, but Vegas only has the Eagles at -3.
That's what I'm saying. The spread's only 3 here. That's surprising to me. I think the Eagles win this by at least a touchdown, maybe 10 points at a minimum.
And I do honestly, obviously, I'm a little biased, but their defense has looked unbelievable the past 6 weeks, especially after that Bucs game. That Bucs game was horrendous. But their defense you're looking at 17.9 points per game given up and under 300 yards allowed a game. Their defense is on a
They've
wild
tightened up.
run.
They've tightened up big time.
Bad. Shout out Jalen Carter. Specifically, that guy has been playing out of his mind lately.
Oh yeah.
All right. So now we'll go into the predictions. This is Sunday Night Football. What is your prediction for this game?
We're looking at 23-13 Eagles. 23-13
I like
Eagles.
that kind of sounds right up my boat, but I'm going to go a little higher than you. These are two high-powered offenses.
Yeah.
Good running backs, great wide receivers, above average quarterbacks at both positions. Actually, probably closer to elite. But I'm going to go Eagles 30, Rams 23. I do think it's a little closer than what you think because the Rams are looking pretty well this season, but I think the Eagles just have too much.
I think the Eagles are just too dominant, and they're just gonna kind of keep them at an arm's distance for this game, and it's gonna be 10-point game. All
right,
the spread is 3.
Now,
I don't agree.
The last game we want to talk about here, and what I think is the game of the week. I don't know about you. Ravens versus Chargers. Sure. This game is a huge game, I feel like. Chargers at home. This is the Harbaugh bowl. I don't know if you realized it. This is Jim versus John. We're back.
I did not realize.
This is the first time since, I don't know, at least 2014, 2015 since this has happened. But spread's at -3 Baltimore. Baltimore has looked unbelievable this year. The Chargers, 7-3, I think, from what I saw last night. I think they're 7-3.
Yeah,
they look really good despite having they've had to replace a lot. But like this is crazy to me because they lost Mike Williams, they lost Keenan Allen, and then they just go ahead and they just kind of replaced them. Sorry about the little intermission, but we're back. We were talking about the Ravens versus the Chargers. -3 on the spread for Baltimore. This is a big game. Both teams looking really good, really solid positions right now. The main matchup here, undoubtedly, is the quarterbacks. You're looking at Lamar Jackson. You're talking about Justin Herbert.
Oh yeah.
You're looking at Lamar Jackson, MVP frontrunner right now, and Justin Herbert. I mean, obviously, I don't think he's in the MVP race, but he's playing
out of his mind.
Yeah, he's playing like the most valuable player for their team.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, we haven't seen Justin Herbert play like this. I think he finally found his coach. I mean, it's awesome to see the other Harbaugh there. So it's been. I like Justin Herbert. I mean, he's always been kind of mid-level quarterback somewhere in there, and I've got a little bit of bias on the Chargers. You got a rookie wide receiver, Ladd McConkey. I've been
dude,
waiting for him to be in the league.
Bro, that was a big shocker for me. 615 yards, 4 touchdowns. This dude's going to be a wide receiver 1 for a while if he keeps doing this.
I mean, a rookie leading in wide receiver numbers is amazing, especially on a 7-3 team. Like, I don't know if you watched the game last week. He won that game for them. I mean, there was their final drive.
That game was wild.
Their final drive, Ladd was open like 2 or 3 times, wide open. Big passes, 15, 20-yard passes. He got them moving. He's always been an excellent route runner. I mean, I watched him play at Georgia for so many years, an amazing route runner. And he's got those feet, man. He will drop you.
He's got the speed.
He's got the speed. He's got the feet. He will drop you and get you twisting around in circles, the question mark above your head. He's unreal to watch. Big time.
All right, and then a big topic here is Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry traded, I think, from the Titans in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing like the offensive player of the year. We're looking at 1,281 scrimmage yards and 15 touchdowns. This guy has been crazy good for them.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it does help when your quarterback is probably one of the best, if not the best, running quarterbacks in the league, and Lamar Jackson, who's also playing like an MVP right now. But, dude, that is the most dangerous duo in football. Like, it really
I don't disagree.
Is.
I don't disagree. I mean, they're scary. I mean, you look at Lamar Jackson and you're like, oh my God, Derrick Henry's back there too. Like, where are they going to go? You have no idea.
You never know.
It's terrifying.
If Lamar's holding the ball right here and Derrick Henry's coming across, Lamar could just pull it without even thinking. Like, honestly, this you never know what's going to happen. So, this is pretty crazy. Now, there's one thing that I was looking up last night. The Chargers are only allowing 14.5 points per game.
That's not a lot of points.
That is unbelievable. That's got to be number 1 in the league. Like, I never would have expected that, especially after the last game.
No,
because they gave up like 30 last year, 27, whatever it was, to the Bengals. That's pretty crazy.
They did
But
give up a lot.
I did not realize the Chargers defense was playing this good. Shout out Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, Jim.
Dude, coming in from Michigan, they had one of the most dominant defenses in college football the past 2-3 years, and he's acclimating pretty well to the NFL again after his hiatus. But
Extremely well.
Now, with all this information that you know now, what are your predictions?
I'm gonna go. I'm taking the Chargers, man. I would like to see the Chargers beat the Ravens because this may be slightly biased. It may be slightly biased. I like the Chargers. I like the way that they've been playing. I like their players. There's a lot of morale boost going on with the team, and we've got a coach that hasn't been in the NFL before, or he was before, right?
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
The last time I remember the Harbaugh Bowl, was the Super Bowl. It was literally the Super Bowl.
You're right. So. I don't know why my brain just blanked out. I was like, I'm pretty sure he was for a really long time, but then he went back to college, but hasn't been in the NFL for a while. Yeah, hasn't been in the NFL for a long time. He's had a good team. He's got a young team, and he's doing good work for the Chargers. The Ravens are dominant. They're looking amazing, but at the same time, that points per game, I think it's going to be a huge factor. The defense looks good. I'm taking the Chargers here. As far as the score goes, I would like to see this game. Let's just go with a flat 20-17. No, we'll go 23-20. Chargers come out on top.
Interesting. Now, I'm probably going to go the opposite way for you, knowing last game what happened against the Bengals.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going to take the Ravens. Now, I know you're probably a little upset.
I'm not upset, man. You have your own...
Ladd McConkey's going to take an L, but Lamar Jackson is going to be Lamar Jackson this game. Lamar Jackson, he's going to run all over him. He's going to pass. I mean, this dude has 25 passing touchdowns this year. Easily leads the league. I think the Ravens' offense is just too much. I'm going to take them 30 to, let's go, 20.
Okay.
I think the Ravens will just kind of dominate them in the end. And it's just going to be too much.
Fair.
All right. Sorry again for the other intermission. We are just not on our game today. But it's still going to be a banger for you guys. All right. We're going to move into something different. We're going to do some segments. All right. We're going to start with what college did they go to? And I know this one's probably going to mess you up a little bit because you don't really know the college. You don't really know players and their colleges very well.
No, I'm not good at it at all, man. I forget what college some of these guys went to. And big names in the NFL, I'm just like, what college? What? Where are they from? Oh, yeah, that's right. They are from Bama. They are from LSU.
That'd be happening to me sometimes. But before we get into this,
really bad at it.
I want you guys to comment down below if we should keep doing this or if we should kind of go back to what we were doing, just going over games, going over predictions, all that stuff. But if you do like this, let us know in the comments. So
sure.
I'm going to have 10 players here for you. You know all of them.
Yep.
At least I hope you do.
Yep.
Because if you don't, you'll be known as Cameron Casual now.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm going to fumble so hard. I'm already telling you, you can't be mad.
I won't be mad. I don't know if the people watching though.
I'm giving you guys a warning. I am horrible at looking at NFL names and telling you what college they went to. Unless it was the University of Georgia, I'm not gonna get this. But whatever. Hey, we'll go with it. I'll try my best.
All right. So we'll start. The first 10. Layup. Brock Bowers.
Oh, come on. You're making it too easy. All right, whatever. University of Georgia, number 2. Come on.
All right. Yeah, I had to give you the layup. So okay, so you're 1 for 10.
Now here comes the half court.
1 for 1 right now.
Here comes the half court shot.
All right. So you're 1 for 1.
All right.
Next, Allen Robinson. Now, if you guys don't know who Allen Robinson is, he is currently playing for the Detroit Lions. He is a wide receiver. was most popular on the Bears, but he's kind of fallen off now. Where did he go to college, Cameron?
I don't know, but I want to say Penn State. I'm telling you, I got that in there. Got that in there.
This kid got it right. Good job.
Hey.
Let's go. He's 2 for 2, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, see.
All right.
Okay.
So this next one, you should know it, but I put it in here because it is a little bit of a tricky one. A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown.
I'll give you a hint.
Give me a
to
hint.
a Power 4 school. Went to a Power 4 school.
I would have assumed, honestly. I don't know, man. I have no guess. I'm gonna be honest with you, and it's gonna make me look like an idiot because I'm gonna be like, "Yep."
Just throw one out there. Just throw one out there.
Give me a conference, please.
I can't.
Give me a conference, dude. Come on.
All right.
He
was an SEC guy.
A.J. Brown was in the SEC. All right. I guess. Did he really produce Alabama?
He did not.
He did not. Okay. Yeah. See, I don't know.
You are 2 for 3. He went to Ole Miss.
Yeah, I didn't know that at all. I didn't even. Yeah. Nope. No idea. I didn't know that.
So the next one. This one, I'm not gonna lie. You know the player. You definitely know the player. We talked about him earlier. He's actually playing A.J. Brown this week. Cooper Kupp. This is a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. It's either if you know it, but if you don't know it,
I know
it's gonna be tough.
I know it's not a well-known school. I remember
definitely not.
I remember seeing that it wasn't a well-known school. Yeah, I'm not gonna remember. But I knew it wasn't a good. I knew it wasn't a very well-known school.
Well, unfortunately you're now 2 for 4. When you hear this you'll either be like, oh yeah, or you'll be like, honestly, wouldn't have known. Eastern Kentucky.
Okay, so he went to EKU.
Yep.
I was gonna be so honest. It might have been the colors. For some reason, I thought he was a Sam Houston Bearcat. I don't know why. I'm glad I didn't say that though, because that would have made me look really stupid.
Well, I mean, it's an obscure college.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you should have guessed it, at least given a guess. But no, you're a quitter.
I'm not a quitter. All right, come on, next one.
All right, next one. This is another one that's a little obscured, but honestly, I feel like you should know it. Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. Was it Duke?
No, it was not Duke. I'll give you one more guess, because that was quick.
Man, who am I thinking of then? If it wasn't Duke, Joe Flacco.
If you're thinking of Duke, it could be the guy that just got released today. I'm just saying. Danny Dimes.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't. It definitely was not Danny Dimes that I was thinking of. No, Duke was my final answer.
All right. Well, unfortunately, you are now 2 for 5.
I told you this was gonna be a slaughter,
man. He went
man.
to Joe Flacco, one of the best backups in the league. He went to Delaware.
Yeah, that wasn't happening. That wasn't happening.
All right. Next. So you're 2 for 5. We're on to the 6th player. This is the most obscure name, but he went to definitely a known college. Jake Ferguson, the tight end for the Dallas Cowboys.
When did he get drafted?
I believe he got drafted the 2023.
Okay.
No. 2022. He was a later pick, though, so honestly, that probably doesn't even help you out that much.
He was a later pick, Jake Ferguson. Was it Iowa?
Great guess. You were very close. It was Wisconsin. Now, the only reason why I put this guy in is because the weirdest thing that I can do as a football mind is my knowledge of where NFL tight ends from the Big Ten have played college. Big Ten tight ends that are in the NFL. I can name a lot of them.
Yeah.
That is the weirdest thing that I can do.
Yep.
All right, you are now, unfortunately, 2 for 6. Comments, you may have to roast him.
That's fine.
All right, this next one.
I gave them a heads up, man.
This next one, one of the 3 guys in that trio in Cincinnati, T. Higgins.
T. Higgins.
Yep.
T. Higgins. I feel like an idiot right now, man.
I'm not gonna lie, this one you definitely should get.
Oh, come on, LSU. My bad. Wait. Oh, is that Jamar Chase? That's Jamar Chase. That's what it is. Oh, my head's. You said I should get. Well, because you said I should get it, and then I was like, oh, dude, I get Jamar Chase and T. Higgins mixed up all the time.
Oh my god,
bro, that's embarrassing.
Oh my god,
that's embarrassing. Cause
that's bad. T. Higgins went to Clemson.
Yeah,
he was with Trevor Lawrence.
That was just
funny. Your confidence, bro.
Because you said I should get this, and then my brain was like, "Oh, that they were the duo in LSU."
Oh my
See,
God.
I can't even remember back to that LSU team. It's like I know Joe Burrow was there, but for some reason, I thought it was T. Higgins instead of Jamar Chase for a second there.
It's all good. You are unfortunately now 2 for 7, going into number 8. We talked about this guy earlier. He's playing the Packers this week. Deebo Samuel. Where did he go to college? He's thinking hard about it, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't remember. I don't even know. I don't even
Would you like a
guess.
hint? Would you like a hint?
Let's take a hint.
He is another SEC player. I don't know if that helps.
Kinda, but I was kind of already on one of 2 teams, but at the same time. I'm between Ole Miss and Kentucky.
Well, it is neither of those.
Yeah, see, like
I'm so... South Carolina.
I had that one in my head too, but I was looking at it and I was like, I feel like I don't remember. Like it was.
Yeah, he was one of those
under
the radar guys. He was one of those
under the radar
guys,
man.
All right,
I'm so bad at this. I told you.
Number 9, you are 2 for 8.
I'm gonna pull one more out
I'm
here.
not gonna lie.
30%.
All right, you will hopefully get this one because he plays for your favorite team. We are talking about Bucky Irving.
Bucky Irving went to Oregon. I can tell you that.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen.
He was a stud.
He got one right. We are 3 for 9.
Yep.
How are you feeling going into this? How are you feeling going into this last one?
I've been feeling the same way since we started, that I was going to be absolutely horrendous. You gave me 3 layups, and I, thank God, sunk them, but I can't make a free throw.
Actually, the Allen Robinson one wasn't even a layup. You just kind of had a feeling.
Eric, you are the biggest Penn State fan I know. I've heard.
Right, I had to throw one.
I've heard lots of names. Allen Robinson has been one of them.
All right, you're 3 for 9. Not a great percentage. We're going into the last one. This guy is one of, well, I don't know about this year, but he has been in the past one of the best wide receivers in the league, Devontae Adams. I will give you a hint. This is a pretty good one. He specifically wanted to play with Derek Carr because they went to the same college.
Oh man, you just gave me like another big hint and I don't even know. What? I feel like I know what college Derek Carr went to, but at the same time, I don't know.
You have no idea.
This one, no, I don't know. This one's gonna hurt because I'm gonna be like, I know this one. I feel like I know this one.
Unfortunately, it was Fresno State.
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I wasn't gonna lie.
Unfortunately, Cameron, You are 3 for 10, 30%. Not great, not great.
It's all right, man.
Now, maybe in the future, he'll do one for me, but unfortunately, Cameron has had a busy week this week, so
You're going to
we couldn't really
clear.
prep.
You're going to clear my 30%.
I don't know if I will, because
I can make it my goal. I can make it my goal to get you at 0, but I'm not going to do that.
Okay, just take it easy.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to do that, though, because that's disrespectful. Just to make it so that I get a better score. No. I'll get you a list.
All right.
I'll get you a list.
Next NFL episode, he'll have it ready. We are going in to the next one. This is my favorite segment that I not really came up with, but kind of got some idea off of. We are going to call this segment TD or INT. Basically, all it is I'm going to give you a statement, and you're going to agree or disagree, but, we had to put a little spin on it, TD or INT for football.
Okay.
I have 15. We're going to go through them one by one, and we'll just, then we'll talk. We'll also talk about it after we agree or disagree.
Okay.
All right. So the first one is Justin Jefferson is the top wide receiver in the league.
I'm gonna call that an interception. Yeah.
Ooh, I was gonna put TD. Focus. There we go. I think he's the best.
I don't.
Who do you think is better?
I think Jamar Chase is better.
His LSU teammate.
I think Jamar Chase. That's a stab right there. That is the biggest stab I've ever got. Ouch, man. Anyways, Jamar Chase. I think Jamar Chase.
I'll say this. I think this season Jamar Chase is the best receiver in the league this year. But if we're going just straight up,
are you going just straight up?
Oh, I was going just straight up for this one.
Oh, okay. So
does that change your mind?
I think this season Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver. I think consistently over the last few years and currently in the league, Justin Jefferson has been the best overall wide receiver. See,
that's exactly my thought process.
I thought 100%. We were going on basis of this season. I was like, Justin Jefferson being the best this season is a little outrageous, but
that is true. But
it's not far-fetched.
Sam Darnold is looking like a beast, helping him out.
All right.
Next one, the second one.
Yep.
And for the next couple, we'll do it on like a count of 3. So like, think about it, and we'll put a card up, or you'll just say it.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson will win the MVP. You got it?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
That's a touchdown, baby.
It is.
It's not focusing, man. It's just not gonna focus.
Yeah, the lighting. Honestly, I'll just screw these cards.
But screw the cards. Just
that is a touchdown in my opinion. I think Lamar is just kind of running away with it at this point, and he would have to have a major fall off to not win it at this right now.
Yeah,
I don't know. Is that's probably what your thought process is as well?
Bang! Oh, it's backwards.
Oh,
nope.
No, actually, on my angle it was just forward.
Yeah, whatever. We'll just
it's fine. We'll just do it by word. We'll be more prepared in the future. So you obviously agree Lamar's gonna just run away with it.
I mean, as long as he stays healthy, he stays consistent. I don't foresee him not being consistent for the rest of the season. He's playing very, very well. I think he's gonna come through with another MVP.
I agree. And now, something that I heard about that, actually, if he wins the MVP this year, he will have 3 MVPs before he has 3 playoff wins. That's pretty crazy.
That is ridiculous.
I didn't know that, but that is actually insane, though.
That is a little ridiculous.
All right. Moving on. Number 3. This one is... Honestly, you might be surprised by my answer on this one.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1. INT.
Interception.
Ooh, interesting. I am an Eagles fan, but he's not consistent enough, in my opinion.
Yeah,
he's very up and down. He looked horrible at the beginning of the year. with his interceptions is really was costing us.
Yeah.
But lately he's looked
have
like
to
the
agree.
best. But I can't put him top 10 if he's got to play more consistent. Now
I
we're
agree.
talking about 2022 Jalen Hurts, that he's top 5. But this year I would put him at probably 12.
Yeah, I think it's just outside the
something
top
like
10.
that. He's just outside.
Just outside the top 10. I have to agree with every word you just said. To be honest, I couldn't even add on to that.
Perfect. Now, number 4, the next one. King Derrick Henry will win the Offensive Player of the Year. Three, two, one. INT.
Yeah, I have to agree. Interception.
Now, I'm not going to reveal to you who I think is going to win because we'll talk about that later. But there is a someone, and if you know who I am, you know who I think it's going to be.
I know exactly who you think it's going to be. I do.
Derrick Henry, I think once he hits the bye week, I think his numbers will fall below the other person that I'm thinking of, and it'll hurt him in the long run.
Oh yeah, I don't.
And I think also him not having the receiving side as much is going to hurt him as well.
I'm looking at 2 other very, very possible candidates
Interesting.
for Offensive Player of the Year, for sure.
All right, perfect. So the next one. You're going to like this one. I'm not going to lie.
All right, I'll like it.
Brock Bowers is the best tight end in the league as a rookie. So this one we'll do for this season because obviously he's played less than a season.
Yes.
All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1. TD.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. Touchdown. Is it drastic? No. But
I would honestly have to disagree with you. I genuinely think there has not been a tight end that has been as close to as good as him this year. The only one I can think of is Travis Kelce, but he started off slow. So
Travis Kelce's had a really rough year.
He started off too slow, and it's kind of hard for him to come back from it. But Brock Bowers, I think, is far and away the best tight end in the league right now, and I think he's going to be the best tight end in the league for years. He's going to go on a Travis Kelce run. He has 6, 7 straight years of 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
A bunch of touchdowns. I mean, he's literally the only reason right now that the Raiders have an offense. Oh
yeah, I agree. He is definitely the best tight end in the league for sure. It makes me happy. Yeah, he's putting up numbers.
Little Georgia Bulldog.
Little.
He's pretty big.
That is a big Georgia Bulldog.
All right, next one. The Steelers are true Super Bowl contenders.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. TD.
INT. I don't think...
I'd like to hear your thoughts on this.
It's so up in the air right now. By the way, Thursday Night Football. Annual Steelers.
They did just lose.
Annual Steelers trap game. Annual Steelers trap game. It happens every year. I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders. Do I think that they're going to play well in the playoffs? Possibly. But that all depends on, how it lines up. I don't know what their schedule looks like for the rest of the season, to be honest with you. It is very dependent on that as well. But with the way that they've played, I know they've got Mr. Unlimited. But
You have to be unlimited.
I know they have him, and he's been looking really good. But besides that, Super Bowl contenders, I don't think so.
Now, I'm going to have to disagree with you. And the only reason why I disagree with you is because they still have the same defense that they've always had. Their defense is unbelievable. Probably the best defense in the league this year. I would still say they're probably the best. But this year, they actually have a competent offense. And not even competent, a high-powered offense with Russell Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
Najee Harris is finally looking like himself again. Jalen Warren is a great backup to him. Their receivers look great. Pat Freiermuth looks great. I think they're true Super Bowl contenders, in my opinion.
I respect.
And obviously,
your...
like you said, it's kind of up in the air. They're close.
It is.
You think they're close?
I think they're close. I think we see another couple good games out of them. I wouldn't be surprised. Right now, I think it's too far away to tell. For me, at least.
All right. Now, another little Steelers question. TJ Watt is the best defender in the NFL.
Ready?
3, 2, 1.
TD.
TD.
100%.
I'm not even. We're not even going to go into this.
We don't even have to
that
discuss
much.
this. It's yes.
We don't.
Next question.
I don't know. Like there's there's a stat out there like in the past couple years that like the Steelers have like a crazy difference in record when he plays versus when he doesn't.
Oh yeah.
Like he has been robbed of defensive players of the years. Like
my camera wasn't
he's
focusing.
undoubtedly he's undoubtedly the.
I don't want to cut you off at all. I'm sorry to cut you off. I just did like a weird little motion because I was trying to get my camera to focus. It just wasn't working. Anyways,
it's awesome.
Yeah,
It's all
TJ Watt,
best defender.
Next question.
Yes. All right. This one's a little interesting. Jalen Carter is the best interior defensive lineman after Dexter Lawrence. You got it?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Touchdown.
Yeah. I was gonna let you take the lead on that one. There's a lot of thought going on that one for me. I'm not big on the names on, that in that position.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say Georgia Bulldog. Come on.
No. I know who it is. I'm just saying, in terms of the other contenders or being the best, or what you're saying is the second best. I was trying to think of a little bit of competition there, but I mean, no one's popping up, so I have to agree.
I would have to say touchdown for this one.
Yeah.
Because of, again, bias. He's an Eagle, but he is having a monster season after, again, one of those Eagle players that was playing like trash at the beginning of the year, and then on this 6-game win streak, they have been playing unbelievable, and I honestly think he's one of the main reasons why. You can't guard him one-on-one at the moment. Especially in the run game, just off the snap, he just moves the defender out the way, and he's in the backfield every time. So I think he's the best. I think he's the second best defensive line or interior. You got to specify.
I was gonna say interior. I wouldn't disagree. I wouldn't disagree with you here.
Next one, I think it'll be a layup as well. Pat Surtain is the best cornerback in the NFL. 3, 2, 1. TD.
TD for sure.
100%. Honestly, I feel like corners really have fallen off this year. I really don't think there's that many standout corners.
Big names. It's like that's. I'm
Pat
sitting here
Surtain's
trying
the
to
only
think.
one.
I'm trying to think of other big names.
Like when you think of big names, you think of Jalen Ramsey. You think of Denzel Ward in Cleveland. You think of I don't even like. It's so hard to think of guys anymore because I feel like all the best corners have either just slowly like started to like regress or honestly not even play. Like I feel like a lot of them are just kind of like, especially Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey has not looked great lately.
No, I mean it's more spread than it's like singular. Like what's the word for that? Like it's not pinpoint.
Like it's not top
talent.
Heavy.
It's not
like,
pinpoint
not
talent
heavy.
anymore. It's spread. It's spread across a team. Like the team's secondary or is better than another team's. It's not because they have this guy. It's just because of the way that they all play right now. It's interesting. It's different.
I agree. Everything you said, I fully agree with you. Like Pat Surtain is just far and away. He's just like kind of singled himself out now. I feel like 'cause even like Sauce Gardner hasn't looked great this year. But
yeah, I haven't really heard.
Anyways,
much about him.
we'll move on to the next one. The Lions are the best team in the NFL.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. TD.
TD for sure.
And the only reason why I say TD for this one specifically, I witnessed Jared Goff throw 5 interceptions against one of the better teams in the league, being the Texans, and they still won the game.
And they still won. That's the first thing that I was going to go with there. Is how do you
their
win a
offense-
game with
I don't know.
5 interceptions? And
Now,
not,
granted, one of them was a Hail Mary pass at the end of but still,
Whatever.
4 big-time interceptions and you still
Yeah.
win.
Yeah.
What do you do to stop this team? You don't do anything. You can't do anything.
You do what the Bucks did. You do what the Bucks
That's a
did.
good point. Forgot. Only lost this year.
Only
was to
losses
Baker
to the
Mayfield and the
Buccaneers.
Bucs. Yep.
That's a good win. That's my favorite win of the season. It was a little early into the
It's
season.
not going to look
but,
great, though. But Mike Evans coming back, so. I have a feeling you didn't know that.
I didn't. When'd you find this out?
Yesterday?
I didn't know this.
He
God,
logged
I'm
a full
fake
practice
fan.
yesterday. So
I didn't
he's
know.
coming back.
Man, this is the type of stuff that I hear about, and I just didn't this time. Anyways,
All right. Yep. So
I'm excited.
I think the Lions they're too balanced with Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, or as the social media calls them, Sonic and Knuckles. Greatest nickname I think I've ever heard. But besides the point, their receivers are great. Their defense is pretty good. Like their defense is well above average.
Well.
they're easily the best team in the league right now.
yeah.
Now we're gonna kind of do the opposite. The
worst
Giants
team
are
in
the
the league.
worst team in the league.
By far. I'm not even going to give you time to 3, 2, 1 me. Touchdown. Touchdown.
I'm gonna have to agree.
This is...
And again, the only reason, and as of right now, the only reason why I say this is honestly, well, the reason why I say touchdown is because they literally just lost to the everyone who thought was the worst team in the league, being the Panthers. They just lost in
and
Germany.
They just lost to them. I mean,
But-
even looking outside of how the players are playing,
I
you look at
honestly
what just
don't-
happened with Danny Dimes. You look at what just
now
happened with
he's
him.
gone.
It was
Tommy
honestly,
DeVito season, baby.
even in the office, it was embarrassing to look at what just happened. It's like within a week, he went from the starting quarterback to the 4th string in practice to playing safety at practice to being released.
Yeah.
That is
Like
embarrassing.
what was like the practice squad safety or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
in
it was
practice, he was
bad.
playing as a safety. Like,
That's probably the
that was
craziest
your
week for a quarterback
Yeah,
ever.
it was your starting quarterback a week ago, and now you're going to treat him like this? Like, that,
that's
there needs to be some serious fixing going on with the
And
head
I
office, with
honestly-
the team, going outside
And
of them
again,
being the
I'll
worst
say
team in the
this: it definitely is not their players. They have some great players in Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Wandale Robinson, and Malik Neighbors, who looks like the best rookie receiver in this class. But
league. For sure.
I mean, they are just a dysfunctional organization right now.
Oh, 1,000%.
Next one, and I'm gonna read this how I wrote it down.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers is washed up and should retire.
You know who you sounded like when you said that? Take a guess.
I know exactly.
Take a guess.
Matthew Maher.
You did sound like
Shout
MMG.
out MMG. We love you, bro. Literally one of the goats of YouTube.
You sounded exactly like him when you said that, but
All right, ready?
yeah, he
3,
needs
2, 1, T.
touchdown.
100. Just
He needs to call
it's
it quits,
touchdown.
man.
He needs to get it. He has single-handedly destroyed the Jets again.
Mad respect for the man. Mad respect for, coming
Trying
in
to come
last
back,
year,
but-
getting hurt, taking a season, trying to come back, but it's over. You need to know when to quit, and like you said, yeah,
agree with
he's the Jets are
Go
down.
out on top. Like, I mean, I guess Brady didn't necessarily go out on top, but he was still playing elite when he retired.
Yeah.
Like, Rodgers is going to look like an old, washed up.
I mean, I think Rodgers
terrible
really
veteran.
is trying to do what Tom Brady did, get traded to a team and then win a Super Bowl and then get out at what? How old is he?
It's
40?
not going to work. Yeah, he's
How old was
40
he?
now.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Oh,
he was
Brady?
almost. Yeah, how old was he when he won
Oh,
the Super
Brady
Bowl? He was
when
almost 40.
He's like he was like 41, I think.
I was say he was in his
Something like
40s.
that.
I mean,
Close,
Rodgers.
close.
I think Rodgers is trying to do exactly what Tom Brady did, and
But
it's not
he will
working.
never be Tom Brady.
Yeah,
He never
he
will.
won't.
And I don't think anyone ever will. The only
He
obviously
needs
the
to
only
call
guy
it quits.
closest will be Patrick Mahomes. But moving on, this will probably be the last one that is like serious. The Dolphins would be playoff contenders if Tua did not get hurt.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. TD.
INT. Now I want to say, it is a huge factor, massive factor Do I think it is the sole reason? Absolutely not. What's their record right now? Do you know off the top of your head?
I think it's they're 4-6 at the
I
moment.
was gonna say they're either 5-5 or 4-6. I know they're either 500 or just under 500. They just, yeah. I mean, the biggest factor is Tua. Do I think it is the only reason? And if he was fine, that they'd be
See, I'll agree with you on that.
like a Super
but
Bowl contender? No.
the thing is, right now, if they won like one or two more games, they would be like, I would say they would be pretty well into playoff contention. And
Yeah.
I think Tua would have won them an extra one or two games. So that's why
That's
I
fair.
think if Tua didn't get hurt.
That is fair.
But I will say this: I don't like their defense. Their defense has really been struggling.
That was my first. Is their defense has been struggling. I mean,
That's the biggest factor why they're at this
obviously you're gonna have your wide receivers and stuff that aren't gonna be playing as well with the backup, and that's understandable. So you cannot put the blame
it was like
on them. But
dysfunctional. It
that's
was like
what I'm saying.
dysfunctional.
It's
And
like it's
I see
really
I see what
bad.
you're saying, but
It's
I'm
like-
still gonna go. I would still think they'd be contenders if Tua didn't get hurt.
It's iffy. They could be. I don't think it's the sole reason. There's a lot of other things going on behind that. I think that if Tua was healthy, that they would be on that verge. 6-4, maybe 5-5 right now. Maybe another win or two, but dominant, absolutely not.
All right, now on to my two favorites that I thought of. These are really good ones.
All right.
That they're funny, but you also kind of have to. Actually, you may not have to think about it, but I think they're pretty fun.
Okay.
Tom Brady is a horrible TV analyst.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. TD.
I'm gonna go the opposite here. I think he's
Really?
doing a really good job. Like I will sit there and watch a game and I'll realize 30 minutes into watching the game, oh, Tom Brady's commentating this game. He's
So you kind of like you've been listening, but like you haven't really like thought about it. Like
Yeah,
he's just
100
kind of doing so well that
usually-
you don't even think about it.
usually when someone steps in, you can kind of tell like, oh, I don't like what he's doing, or I don't like how he's saying this, or I don't like his voice, like any of that. And it's like I think Tom Brady is doing a really good job with it right now. I'm gonna be honest with you.
See, all the reasons you just stated, it's the reason why I
For
think
you.
he's an ass.
It might be a
analyst.
personal thing. It might be a personal thing.
I think it is because I don't like his voice. It's his voice, and also I feel like the way he talks about the game, he's very like vague. Like he's like, I feel like when he talks about plays, he'll just be he'll be like to like play good defense, you have to like sack
But
the quarterback. And I feel like that's what I'd be hearing.
That is his almost, he's kind of basic in himself. It's very early into his commentating. I think he will get better. He will 100% get better. I think he's doing a great job it's his first year, right? I would say.
Oh yeah, it's the first. Yeah, it is the first year.
He's doing a really good job for it being his first year. Obviously,
I
he's
think
making
what's also
a lot of
holding
money.
him
but-
back right now is the fact that the games they're giving him are either Cowboys games or they're Bucks games.
Bucks
There's
games
like
or
no
Cowboys
in
games,
between
yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's hurting. I think that's hurting him. I don't know. I really don't think he's that good. He can improve. He's the GOAT. He could probably do anything, but like.
That sounded
I don't
so
know.
sarcastic of you.
But no, it's true though. He's the GOAT. He can. I mean, I feel like if he puts his mind to something, he'll get it done.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, last one. And this is my absolute favorite. This is not NFL related, but I had to throw it in here because it's a big topic right now. Paul Feinbaum is the worst media personality in sports.
Worst as in
He
Like-
is. He doesn't
hot takes or like
You know what?
annoying?
We're not even gonna do a countdown. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. I hate this man. He is so unbelievably biased. Now I understand
Yeah.
he works for the SEC network, but he thinks that like right now he thinks he just doesn't think when he like says stuff. It's so annoying. This guy will say like Georgia right now should be a top 5 team when they have 2 losses.
Yeah, he does.
No,
say
that's not a dig at you. I'm just.
I know
like,
it's not a
just,
dig.
like,
it's a little
like,
outrageous.
just,
like as a fan,
ridiculous.
I can admit. As a fan, I can admit that that's
he is genuinely
far-fetched.
The way I can think of him. The way I think of him is he literally is an old head that only thinks his ideas are good. He doesn't think of anything else as like he can't take any other like idea and call it good. His idea has to be right.
Yeah,
I hate him so much.
I haven't really paid too much attention to what he says. I never really do, to be honest with you, because I've never really liked his opinions and stuff. And
that's why he's on the SEC network and not on main networks.
Factual.
Just saying.
Factual.
All right, so that concludes TD or INT. If you have any ones that you want us to do in the future, put it down below in the comments. Now, this next segment, we'll get to in a little bit. But before we get there, we're going shameless plug. I'm sorry, guys, but the Bucket Squad shorts are awesome. And I am now an affiliate with them. So if you like that, they have a lot of colorways. They just released a Pearl collection today that is really, really nice. And if you like what you see, I will leave a link down below in the comments that can get you 10% off. Cameron, do you like the shorts?
I do like the shorts a lot. Not like the green specifically, not my style.
They have a lot of colorway. Actually,
I know.
I'll show you the ones that I'm wearing right now are black and white paisley.
Now I like
and
those.
They go with virtually anything. So they have a lot of colorways. Those. They have a lot of colorways, and if you like them, they also they don't just make shorts. They make shirts. They make hats. They make a
everything.
Everything. They make a lot of stuff. So if you like what you see, click the link. It'll get you 10% off. All right, back to the NFL. This will be our last segment. This will be our personal NFL predictions for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So I will ask you for your MVP, your Offensive Player of the Year, your Defensive Player of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, NFC Champ, AFC Champ, and then who you think is going to win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
We'll start off with MVP, which we
both
kind of covered earlier.
Already agreed.
We're both on Lamar. Lamar Jackson will win the MVP. We probably shouldn't spend too much time on that because he'll just run away with it. So, quickly moving on. Offensive Player of the Year. I think this one will go a little bit fast as well. I obviously you know who I have is Saquon MF Barkley.
I know that you have Saquon up there. I think Saquon and Derrick Henry are
I think the only reason why
front
he's
runners
not
there.
No, easily. They're top two running backs,
mm-hmm.
and then everyone else.
Yeah,
far and away the front runners for Offensive Player of the Year.
Now.
And the only reason why Derrick Henry is even ahead of him right now is because he hadn't done his bye week.
Agreed.
That's why. And then once he has his bye week, Saquon's just going to take over, and then I think he's going to run away with it.
There's a third name that I'm
interested because
there's a third name I've talked about a couple times already. I don't think he's in super high contention to win Offensive Player of the Year, but I would like to see it. It's Jamar Chase. I would like to see it. I think as a wide receiver, he has played out of his mind compared to.
I think he's third.
Yeah. Well, I mean, out of wide receivers or out of
no in general.
In
now,
general. I'm saying Saquon
as
and
of today. It's probably Derrick Henry, Saquon, and then Jamar Chase.
There are favorites. There are Saquon, Derrick, and then Jamar Chase. That's my top three for who I think is going to win, who I want to win, and who I think deserves it right now is Jamar Chase. In terms of a wide receiver,
honestly the only reason why he's not going to win or be even in contention to win is because his team's not good.
I think that's part of the reason.
I don't understand why that is a factor, but it's so annoying every year because there's these standout guys that just never get recognition because their team sucks.
Yeah.
But that's not their fault.
No.
I don't know.
Not
all right. Defensive Player of the Year.
We kind of already covered that too. I mean,
honestly, I don't have who you're thinking of.
You don't?
I really don't. And I honestly, now that I'm thinking about it though, I don't know if he'll win, but this is kind of like another one that he should win, in my opinion, because he's playing out of his mind this year, is Sexy Dexy Dexter Lawrence.
Your favorite Dexter Lawrence for the Defensive Player of the Year?
I think he should win.
Okay.
I genuinely think he should win. Who will win? Probably is going to be T.J. Watt. Actually, there's one name right now that I was looking up the odds last night. I was a little shocked. Trey Hendrickson on the Bengals is top 3 in defensive player of the year odds right now, which is crazy. But what's stupid in my opinion?
T.J. Watt.
I forget
Bosa?
who the second. I forget.
Bosa?
No, it wasn't Bosa. I forget who second was. I would have to let us know down below who like second place is right now, because we're drawing blanks.
Chris Jones.
I don't
Trey
think it's
Hendrickson.
him either, but
Interesting.
I don't know. But what made me angry when I was looking up stuff is Dexter Lawrence was like 5th, which is just disrespectful. I'm pretty sure he leads the league in sacks. As an interior defensive lineman, he's on the Giants.
That's
Obviously,
the
Giants
exact...
really are not great, and it's the same reason with Jamar, like why he's not in contention right now, is because their teams are terrible.
I do respect that. You want to see Dexter Lawrence, take that, and being on the Giants, it's going to be nowhere near easy
tough.
for him to do it.
He's probably not gonna get it unless he like somehow gets to he just goes off and gets like 20 sacks or something. Yeah. But I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't know.
Gonna lie.
I think TJ Watt's gonna take it here pretty easily. He's just been standout compared to the rest, honestly.
The next one we'll do is comeback player of the year.
Okay, I have mine for sure.
I want to hear yours first because I don't know if it was ours.
I don't know if ours are going to be the same. I feel like you might think they're not going to be the same, but they might be. I don't know. This could be. But if you want to hear my answer first, it's
who?
Jameis Winston. Sorry, I wanted to do the whole thing that he did on. I think Jameis Winston is my comeback player of the year this year. I'm
not gonna lie. Didn't even draw my mind. Didn't even cross my mind.
But now
I love that pick.
That's what I'm saying.
I love that pick. I don't
Jameis
think it's gonna happen, but I love that.
This is personal.
Absolutely love that.
This is personal. This is.
I know you.
Yeah.
30 season on the Bucks.
It's
30
not
touchdowns,
personal
30
in terms of I love Jameis Winston. It's. I do. I love him. I love his energy.
He's my favorite quarterback. He's my favorite personality in the league.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. His
everyone's
personality.
favorite personality in the league.
He's come up out of nowhere, and he's led the Browns to, is it 3 wins now after the win last night?
I think it's 2.
Was it
they
2?
Had one. They had.
Oh,
one
it was.
with
Yeah,
Deshaun.
no, it was.
Yeah, I think it's only 2.
So it was only 2. But
yeah,
I mean,
love
3
that pick.
great weeks from him.
I think that was that's an amazing pick. I was not
he
expecting
has
that.
the amazing energy. He's easily a fan favorite right now. I mean, I think it's funny because I looked at him when he was on FSU and when he was on the Bucks. To the person he is now, you would never expect him to be the way that he is now. I mean,
I saw the clip.
He's hilarious.
I saw a clip. I'm not even talking about it's funny. What made him make me love him even more was when I saw the video of his backstory at home, how he grew up from nothing, and it just makes it so much cooler that this guy is loved by everybody in the NFL.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know. That's a great pick, but for me, I went more the actual who's more of a favorite, and I think that's Joe Burrow. And the thing is, I totally forgot Joe Burrow for one, he didn't play great last year, but then he got hurt, and then he was out for the last 6-7 games of the year or whatever it was.
Yep.
But now he's playing unreal. I think he's close to leading the league in passing.
Yeah.
I don't know. The only other one that I saw that probably could win over him is Kirk Cousins. Because Kirk Cousins coming off the Achilles, and I honestly think if he leads them to a division win, which it's looking like they will, is Kirk Cousins will win. But if he doesn't, I think Joe Burrow's going to get it. I'm locking in Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
for later down the line.
I know that if I tried to bet on Jameis Winston being the comeback player of the year,
It's probably not going to work.
it wouldn't hit, but that is my personal favorite for that. I mean, it would be amazing to see him win that because I think a lot of people would agree with me. It'd be really cool to see him, win comeback player of the year, but only time will tell. He's played 2 or 3 games. He hasn't been back for long. Who knows what he's going to do? Who knows? He could shoot up on that list. Who knows?
He could.
We will see.
He could. You never know.
100%.
All right, now we're going to move into the team predictions.
Okay.
Or, I guess, championship predictions.
Yeah.
So, we'll start with the NFC. Who do you have?
NFC, I'm between the Eagles and the Lions. I want to just say
I did have to
it is a
think
tough
about this
one.
one.
It is a tough one. I think the Lions are undoubtedly the most dominant team in the league right now, and I think that is not going to change. I don't think the Eagles are going to be able to topple them. I'm looking at Lions as the
when
NFC
you bring up
champ.
dominance, what was funny was the last time we recorded, we had our phones off, so we didn't know what was happening on NFL Sunday. And we opened up our phones.
Oh yeah,
Jared Goff had 400 yards, 4 touchdowns,
Yep.
and they won 52-6.
Yeah, that was like we recorded that whole episode and we were on our phones before, and then right when we finished the episode, it had been the game had started right before we recorded. We weren't paying attention to it, and then we finished and we were like watching a different game, and on the ticker on the bottom it was like 52-6, and we were like,
yeah, we're like,
what did the Lions just
like,
do?
Yeah, they have been the most dominant and honestly disrespectful.
Yeah, a little disrespectful, not gonna lie.
But it's funny. I love dude, Dan Campbell's a monster.
He's a monster.
Love the energy. All right, We'll move on. AFC Championship or champions.
I'm so biased because I hate the Chiefs, and I'm glad that they lost their first game. I'm glad that the Bills were the team to topple them. I know that I know that we highlighted the Steelers earlier as being, playoff contenders. Is that a possibility? Is that not a possibility? There's a lot of teams in here that could end up on top of the AFC. After the Chiefs went down to the Bills last week, the Bills are obviously kind of up there on my list for being favorites. But I like I said, I do want to highlight the Steelers as well. Maybe even the Ravens. Chiefs, of course, are in that race. I am going to come out and say I think the Bills are going to be top of the AFC.
That's a good pick. Obviously, I don't think I obviously would not be like mind blown if it happened. Mm-hmm. The only reason I was between the Bills and the Steelers, and the only reason why I picked the Steelers is because of the Bills' playoff, like the way they've played in the playoffs the past couple years.
Yeah.
They always they get close. They either get to the championship game, they get to the divisional game, but then they either run into they run into a good quarterback that just outplays Josh Allen in the playoffs. So I honestly am taking the Steelers mainly because of Mike Tomlin.
Okay.
Because Mike Tomlin he finally has, I think, his best team within the last 5 years. And they're gonna play well the rest of the season. I think they're gonna be hot going in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they're so balanced. I feel like they're kind of like the Lions, just like a little bit worse. They're very, very well balanced team. Okay. I think they'll come out. Honestly, think they'll come out of the AFC. Fair
enough, man. I mean, I know that you think the Steelers are contenders for sure. I'm still a little up in the air about that right now. I think the Bills. I know they've had their playoff troubles, but I think they can take care of it this year.
All right, and the last one. So your prediction is Lions versus Bills in the Super Bowl. My prediction is Lions versus Steelers in the Super Bowl. But who do you think comes out on top and holds that Lombardi trophy?
It's tough to say. Simply because you look at how dominant the Lions are, and you want to say that they're the favorite for the Super Bowl right now, but you also look at the Lions and the team that they have been in the playoffs for so many years.
They played well last year, though.
That's what I'm saying. They played well last year, but not well
Remember,
enough.
This is a different. This is a different.
This is a
Lions team
different
than in the
Lions
past.
team, and that's where I want to shift my focus and say I think that they're going to be the ones to win the Super Bowl. As at this point in the year, I think the Lions are the favorites. I think that they're going to take the Super Bowl, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Detroit playoffs take over. I wouldn't.
So you're picking? Are you picking? You're picking the Lions.
I'm going to stick with the Lions. At this point in time, I'm going to stick with the Lions.
And I agree with you. I'm
Okay.
taking the Lions over the Steelers in the Super Bowl. I think this is finally the year that, like, I think they've never made the Super Bowl, believe it or not. Actually, well, I mean, it's not surprising. They've been a laughingstock
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
But I feel like once they get there, they'll win it. You know what I'm like? They break through, and then they'll do it right away.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there, 100%.
All right,
Big
so
time.
we'll fully run down one last time. You said you have Lamar Jackson for your MVP.
Yep.
Actually, you take over for just
Okay.
relist.
Okay, so for the MVP, we both agreed on Lamar Jackson there. For the Offensive Player of the Year, I personally think and want it to be Jamar Chase. You said Saquon, of course. Defensive Player of the Year, I said T.J. Watt, and you said
I'll go over my
Okay.
list after yours. So
Okay.
you just go through for now.
yeah. So I said T.J. Watt for Defensive Player of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year. Not gonna happen, but Jameis Winston, and then I've got the Lions in the NFC and the Bills in the AFC, with the Lions coming out on top.
All right. And then obviously for MVP, we both had the same in Lamar. Offensive Player of the Year, I have Saquon. Defensive Player of the Year, if I want sexy Dexter Lawrence to get it, but it's probably going to be T.J. Watt or someone else. But Dexter Lawrence, I'm pulling for you. Comeback Player of the Year, I have Joe Burrow. NFC champs, the Lions. AFC champs, the Steelers. And the Super Bowl winners, the Lions.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a great episode, I would say. What were your thoughts on the segments this go around?
I enjoyed them, honestly. I think it was a little bit of a good little twist. You did leave that as a surprise for me. You said we were going to do something a little bit different, and you were like, "Oh, do you want to know or do you want a surprise?" And I was like, "Leave it a surprise. We'll just roll with it when it happens." And I did like it because we're not spewing facts the whole time. So
yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Honestly, I think now that we were prepared this time, I think it went a little bit better. Because last time we just hit record and we kind of did it.
Yeah.
So let us know what you think. If you like the segments, let us know. Give us some ideas for segments, because we'll run out of ideas. Obviously, I only had like 2 or 3 today. So leave us some segment ideas in the comments. Also, leave us your predictions for the season in the comments, like MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Super Bowl champ. That'll be interesting to look at.
Yeah.
And I think that's all. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you guys in the next episode.
Later.
See ya.